What up? What up? What up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. This is the Pop Cult Crew. And hey, you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I'm joined by.
This is Niels RY, aka if you hit the wrong note, we'll all be flat.
And this is Shannon, aka Data is a dog. DAWG. Data's a
Dog in
dog.
him. Dog in him. Slick
Oh,
shoes, got that dog in him. And yeah, if
dog.
you haven't figured it out, we're talking about the classic, the 80s classic, the beloved, treasured film The Goonies, which also turns 40 years old today. Time is a son of a gun, fellas. The big 4-0
That
was
is true.
creeping up for all of us, but it hit Goonies first. So
It hit
we're gonna
Goonies before
it
us.
hit Goonies, it got Goonies before us, and I think it got Back to the Future. So it also, but it
Yep,
was like, hey, we got some time. We got a little bit of time left. But hey, we thought like, why not? Let's talk about this treasure classic. There's even talks. I don't know if you guys heard about a potential sequel
I
being
heard.
greenlit. So, why not? Let's talk about the Goonies. But, before we get into it, Nels, I think you got a little bit of history for us.
I do. I do. So, as Mark shared, the Goonies came out in 1985, so we're celebrating its 40th year anniversary. I'm just going to go through the list of the Goonies and then I have some fun facts for you all. So, we have Sean Astin, who played Mikey, who was the leader of the Goonies. And like literally, like said, hey, you guys, like every 5 seconds and use his inhaler for like Chain used his inhaler for like the first 10 minutes of the movie, stopped,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then used it again for like the last
There's
5 minutes of the
way
movie.
Mikey makes it out of the like there's no way he's in they're dust, mildew, they're in a 300-year-old ship. No way Mikey makes it out of this alive
He
in the
didn't
real
touch
world.
his inhaler with a broke down restaurant. That was nasty. He didn't touch it once. They were in the cave. He didn't touch it once. I think he went to saw One Eye Willie, and that's when he busted it out again one more
You,
time.
you know
Just took a quick hit, and then not, and then at the end, it's like he realized he's like, I don't have asthma anymore, y'all. I grew
got
out of it.
asthma.
I'm
Dog,
good.
you remember in Ninja Turtles 2 where they find the subway and there's all the cobwebs everywhere? Like that was the restaurant. And Mikey's like, we gotta find the treasure, guys.
Now is my time to shine.
Moving
I gotta
stuff.
step up and be a leader. What happened to your asthma? You couldn't leave that. The
Ah,
mom was concerned about him leaving the house because
yeah.
of his asthma.
And it was
And
raining. It was raining. It's like there's no pollen outside. It's
And
raining.
she was
Like,
like, this man can't leave the
can't
house.
leave. He will die.
and
Anyways, that's true.
and I was gonna say, and that's just like the allergens and all of that. Like we didn't even mention the cardio that was involved in running around and everything.
Climbing,
They were running
jumping,
for their lives.
swimming.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Air's
Let me keep
fresh
going.
down here.
That's one of the Goonies. Then of course there's Josh Brolin who plays his older brother Bran. There's Jeff Cohen, that's Chunk, and then of course the legend Corey Feldman who plays Mouth, proper name for Corey Feldman's character. And then there is Ke Huy Quan who played Data. I think most of us like one of the most favorite characters
Oh
of the
yeah.
Goonies.
I mean, he's having a little sauce going on, a little Kia sauce, you know? I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, one of my favorite movies ever made.
Yeah.
He killed it in Loki. He's got his own movie out right now that I heard
Love
isn't
hurts,
too
I
hot,
believe.
but I mean, good on him for having his own
Make
movie.
that
So,
money, brother. Hey, I ain't
make,
mad at
hey,
you.
hey,
Make
get
that
get them
money.
ducats, get that one-eye Willie money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Facts. And then Kerry Green, who played Andy. There's a few other folks in the movie,
Yeah.
but those are the relevant ones.
Uh, Nels, let's not forget our pal Joey Pants, who
How could I forget
I
Joey?
completely forgot was in this movie.
Hey, shout out to Joey. Shout out to Joey Pants, man. And did a great job. I
Great,
don't know how much he got paid. Probably not that much, but you know what? It was good to see him. It was
good to
good to
see
see
him.
him. All right, so here are some fun facts. So the director was Richard Donner for the Goonies.
Hmm.
I'm going to put my foot down and say we do not give Richard Donner enough love. Richard Donner should get a lot more love than we give him. Let me just talk. This man, the range is ridiculous. This man directed Superman, The
Classic.
Omen.
Just
Yeah,
right there.
Superman's a classic.
Classic.
The Omen, Lady Hawk, and all the Lethal Weapons,
Come on,
and the
man.
Goonies. He
Come on.
directed all of that. We do not give Richard Donner enough love, man. That's Steven Spielberg range. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? One of
No
the best
matter
horror movies, the first and the one of the best superhero movies,
one, yeah. It
and like
groundbreaking.
the staple buddy cop franchise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He did all that. And I
And
mean, I just want to give a special shout out to Lady Hawk. That's a
and
really weird movie, but it's a good TBS Saturday movie
Ooh,
growing
little
up.
lady
Anyway,
hawk. Got a little lady hawk going on.
exactly.
Leftover Chinese food and lady hawk. About to be a good afternoon, man. But all the lethal weapons, dog, and I don't know where you place them. All enjoyable. All enjoyable, good movies,
Mhm.
and you love the characters. Like he could just I mean, Nels, I don't know what's past that, but you could
Not,
retire
not
off
much.
this. Not much, not much.
Not
Well,
much.
what else do you have to?
Not much.
He hit his Lauryn Hill stride. He's like, what else do I got to do? You know, I mean, I made
Once he once
Superman.
he once he got that lethal weapon, he was like, "Huh, you know what? I'm gonna just stay in this lane
Hey,
right here."
Mel
And busted
Gibson,
out 4 lethal weapons.
Mel
So
Gibson in the '80s, dog, you was set. There was
yeah.
I don't think people understand the stranglehold from like what the '80s to maybe the late '90s that Mel Gibson had on in the industry.
Yeah, it was
It's Leo
I'm
level,
trying
maybe,
maybe. I don't know. He wasn't like Oscar
but just
like
like the presence, like you put Mel in a movie, it was gonna make money.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of, what's his name? Pedro Pascal? It's
Hmm.
probably like that. It's probably like that level right now at the current moment.
Yeah,
Like people going to watch, he's going to show up, it's enjoyable, you happy with it,
yeah.
So,
And then he
some
then he dropped some racist
hey,
things to
hey, hey,
a
hey, hey.
gang of a
And
gaggle of them.
racism, but he gave us the passion of Christ. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Racism,
like they even themselves out. You know what I'm
racism,
saying?
but it was in a conspiracy theory.
You know what I'm saying?
Life is about balance. Life is all
You know
about
what I'm
balance.
Racism, but a chicken run.
You know what I'm saying? He killed it in Chicken Run. Underappreciated role by Mel Gibson. He killed it. And we need to talk about Chicken Run just like Braveheart. All right? You know what I'm saying? He killed it in Chicken Run. That man took that role serious.
Did a good job.
Anyways,
He did a
he
good
did a
job.
great job. Anyways, for another day. So the movie Goonies was written by Steven Spielberg, and Chris Columbus did the screenplay. This movie had no choice but to be successful.
No
And of course,
doubt.
Josh Brolin was in it.
And
So
you
like
can feel their
I was in it.
presence like all over this movie, like the adolescence of it all. Like Steven Spielberg is very good at, and we talked about this with Stranger Things, just that kind of like that child, not what's the word I'm looking for? Like capable children.
Mm,
Like kids getting things done, like E.T. They outran the government and took an extraterrestrial back into space. He's very good at that, and just that kind of like there's danger, but it's still a good time.
hmm.
And Chris Columbus is just he captured like a whole generation. Like this is a very '80s movie, and it in all the good ways.
Yep.
And he was just very good at that.
Yep. And two last things I got for y'all. It was a $19 million budget. It made $125 million.
What?
1985 money. $125 million with a $19 million budget. And I'm pretty sure a tenth of that was just the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just the boat and the water to put in that cave.
The
That was a
water
good amount of
budget.
the budget right there. So, and then last thing is Chunk is an entertainment lawyer, in case you were wondering.
Oh,
Like
is he?
mostly everybody you can kind of like seen they've been in a few movies, and you're like, what happened to Chuck? Chuck probably got more money than everybody else here. He is an entertainment lawyer living in LA. You know what I'm saying? He representing them over there. I
I
think he's
mean,
Yeah, I'm
he's
sure.
he's Data's lawyer. Ain't that wild? He's
Oh,
that's
Data's
really?
funny.
lawyer.
That's funny.
And that man won an Oscar. Anyways, those are my fun facts, y'all.
I mean, dog, everyone like dog, Thanos was in this movie. Sam was in this with Sam, what's Sam's name?
Samuel
Yeah,
Tarly.
yeah.
Oh, Sean Astin, like his actual name,
Oh
because we
yeah, but
just
you
call
know,
him
he's
Sam.
he's Sam. He's Sam.
He's Sam.
And
Yeah.
Donatello, Corey
I
Feldman.
mean, he's actually Rudy. If we want to keep it a
He's
buck.
Rudy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Corey Feldman, 80s icon.
Yep.
Donatello, maybe the best Donatello. You know, debatable. But
I'm not gonna have that argument with you
but
on the Goonies episode. We're not
yeah,
gonna go
like
in on
they
that.
well, a lot of you know, the narrative is like kid stars don't make it out of Hollywood, and but a lot of these people went on to have great careers. Like Josh Brolin's still killing it
Yeah.
and stuff, you
Still,
know.
Mhm.
damn near all of them.
Yeah,
Damn near all of them. Like, I mean, they did.
Quan
Like,
won an Oscar.
you know what I'm saying? Like that. We don't talk about that enough. That and maybe Stand By Me
Yeah,
probably got like some of the most successful,
dang,
like from childhood to adulthood, like
yo,
acting consistency and like skill and strength and all that. Goonies by me, like the two that they really
can
killed it.
can we just get a shout out to Corey Feldman and how many like 80s classics this dude has been in?
Mhm.
Yeah, if he
Like,
didn't crash out in his later years, we would. Corey Feldman should definitely get a lot more love. Like he was the 80s and 90s, bro. Like
like you just
seriously.
said, Stand By Me, Lost
Lost
Boys,
Boys, yep.
Ninja Turtles.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's more in there that like maybe he's probably in a Michael Jackson video somewhere,
I'm sure he
you
was.
know.
I'm sure he was. Him and Corey Haim. But I put if we were ranking the two, I put Corey Feldman above Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Like no ifs, ands, or buts. He had it. He definitely had it. Yeah, man. Well, Mark,
So
where you want to go with the Goonies?
Yeah.
so let's just start like what was y'all's like reaction coming back? Because I've seen this movie multiple times, but I haven't sat down and watched the Goonies, I don't know, maybe like 15 plus years. You know,
Mhm.
maybe since I was a kid, I haven't watched the Goonies. So like what was y'all's feeling coming back to this movie?
Yeah. I'll say
Go ahead.
so I got two things that hit me. So one, we're gonna think about life in general. 80s PG hits different. Because this movie was rated PG.
Like
It
fine
had
wine.
Hmm.
so a PG movie might have any one of these things, but this movie had all of this and was still rated PG. It had profanity. They
Hmm.
punched an old lady. They had the whole like the joking thing with the statue and the penis, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They there were multiple. Like one, this was a signature move of the 80s, especially 80s kids movie, growing hits. Like growing. There were so many like below the belt hits. Like it made no sense. Like it happened many times throughout the movie. There was attempted murder with the car and the bike. Like remember the
Yo,
scene?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Like I was like, yo, good old fashioned 80s where your bullies tried to kill you and you
Yes.
reset, went home and did it again the next day. Like
Yes. Like
Didn't tell his
they
mom
held.
nothing. It was
didn't
just like,
tell his mom a thing.
let me
I
go get
fell,
my brother.
I got thrown over a cliff.
Yes.
But I got school in the morning, so good night, mom.
Yeah. Our guy is riding a bike and they hold his hand and go what 50 miles per hour and they're like, oh, best of luck. That is attempted murder, vehicular homicide, something.
Not in the 80s, Shannon. It's boys being boys in
Yeah.
there.
Yep. That and then of course, they've got just guns and shooting, period. Just people like shooting, being shot.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry, Shannon, but
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna something very 80s, like the cops in this movie, right? Like the what's the family, the Forellis, in the
Yeah, I think
Yep,
opening
that's
something like
scene,
that.
chasing them down, right? It is like 10 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday. People are out and about, cops in open areas shooting at this car. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like again, this is I mean, I would expect this from Gotham City because Gotham we said, Gotham is like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store and oh, okay, like someone's being shot at or like fear gas is being released. Like, okay, I'm used to that. But this was I don't even remember the city, but this
Maybe they get busy. It's Oregon, somewhere in Oregon. Maybe they get busy in Oregon like that. I
Dog.
don't know. I don't
They
know much
just
about Oregon. Maybe this is what
open
it's like in
shooting.
Oregon.
yeah.
Just come on,
But the fact
dude.
that this is a PG, this is with all the things you said, Shannon,
Yes.
and this is PG. Yeah, you are so right. 80s PG. Mm.
It it was. That's what I'm saying. Like a PG movie today, it would have maybe one of these things. This movie had
Mhm.
all of that and was still PG. So yeah, that's what got me. 80s PG hits different.
There
The
was multiple kissing scenes in this movie
yes, there.
Dog.
with
I
the
didn't. I didn't even go
children.
into. I
The
didn't even go into that.
the
That was
love interest kissed like an 11-year-old boy.
You know what I'm saying?
She's like,
With no repercussions.
does Brad have braces? And the other girl's like, you kissed the child. Like,
And in the end, she was like, if you keep kissing like that, you're gonna be okay. Like, what?
yes.
What?
I was like the
hey,
way.
hey, if it
Steven!
don't work out with me and your brother, call me.
Yeah,
Like, Steven, what are you doing?
the
Why
way.
did you write that?
Which again, I am pretty sure that falls somewhere under sexual harassment, assault, something where it's like this person was like, "Oh, I thought I was kissing this person," and then they did a little bait and switch on me. Like,
Dog,
I am
that
sure that is something against the
Something's
law.
wrong. Something's wrong
Chris
there.
Chris Hansen should have came out of that cave like, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Like, Chris Hansen, what are you doing in the '80s and in the cave? Have a seat.
What are
have a
you
seat.
doing? What are you
Uh,
doing
yeah.
in the cave? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know you kissed a fourth grader? You know that?
Absolutely.
Have a seat. Have a
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah. So like I said, 80s PG hit different. That was a big thing that stood out to me. And then
Definitely.
obviously we'll get into more of it like the movie in general, but I'll say movie specific. I mean, it was just a reminder of like again, those movies that were 80s, early 90s that they had sort of the piece that y'all mentioned where there's danger, there's this and that, but it's still a good time and just the fun that kids had. I mean, like obviously we weren't about to die going on adventures like that, but even the simple stuff like, oh, kids are just
Maybe not in
outside
your neighborhood, Shannon.
Yeah. Hey, but no, it captures that like dog and like I weep for the younger generation. Like if we got any young pop cult fans, like y'all don't understand. Our parents used to kick us out. Don't
Mhm.
come back home until it's dark.
Yeah.
Leave. And we would
Mhm.
just go. We'd be out.
Exploring.
And the only rule was don't get caught in another neighborhood. Like if you this is the neighbor, like yeah, you like go out, but like if your parent caught you in another neighborhood, then it was on. Other than that, leave and don't
And like,
come
why
back.
would you go to another neighborhood? I don't understand. Look, let me just shout out some of y'all out here. Why? What the danger? That was it. You don't know them, and you go into that other neighborhood, and them. I don't know about y'all, but those other kids with those bikes and just bad attitudes, and they're like, "Hold on, what you doing here? You go to that elementary school, don't you?
So
Beef
so
on site fighting."
Things.
I so in watching this movie again, it made me realize I am very much so an adult now. Like and it was a humbling experience because when I grew up, I loved the Goonies. I like remembered the lines. Data was my favorite character, and like I think I watched the Indiana Jones movie just because Data was in it. Like I I really liked the Goonies. You probably know where this is going. And now I watched it as an adult, and I was like, these little kids are annoying. Like, if y'all don't shut up and go home, there was several
help
times
your
I was just
parents
like,
pack. Your house is being foreclosed tomorrow. Pack your room up. What are you doing outside exploring?
I was just like, what is wrong with y'all? If y'all don't take y'all tails home, there is convicted killers that you consistently were running into. This man was in jail There was a dead body in the freezer, and at no point, the Mikey kept saying, "But this is our last day here, y'all."
Goonies never die.
The adventure ended when there was a dead body in the freezer.
Dog.
That's when the adventure was
Yeah.
over
Brad,
for your boy.
What is it, Brad or Bran? Who's Josh Brolin's character?
Bran.
Yeah.
He is a failure of a big brother.
Terrible big brother.
As soon as we see a dead body, I don't care if there's gold in the corner. We are going
It's a
home
wrap. It is a
immediately. I don't care if there's diamonds falling from the sky. We're out of here. These people are murderers. We're gone, dog.
Done. And
This is
so,
their last chance, Brad.
and like, I wish I could go back to 8-year-old Niels and just appreciate the glory that his kids running amok. But your boy now, almost 40-year-old Niels, is looking at them like, take y'all tails home. That was a dead body with killers. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
And then they have a mutant.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, look, I'm not trying to talk about anybody's abilities. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I heard he got dropped a few times. But I don't think that allows you to have superpowers. This man broke chains.
Yeah.
Multiple chains.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a superhero.
I
And in my mind, I'm like, that's a mutant.
got some stuff to say about Sloth. I got
Bruh. Okay, so I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up with this. I did go back into being a child again once they started to get into the cave and having to do a bunch of stuff. It kind of like, it was like riding a bike. I needed to warm up to when they got into the cave. Once they got into the cave, I was like, like this, it still hits. It still hits. But man, it was a little rocky. It was a little rocky, especially when Troy put the bucket down and they're like, I think Mikey was like, if we take Troy's bucket, then like the day is over, or we can keep exploring.
And the Goonies die here. They die in this well.
And I'm like, that speech was not convincing.
We're going
Go
home.
up the bucket.
We're going
Take
home.
the bucket. We're going home. There are
And
killers after us.
and
man.
then she's like, I'm gonna put his sweater, his Letterman sweater. It's cold down there. Keep the sweater.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And I have to say it. That's why there's no black folks in the Goonies.
There's not one black Goonie.
Not a single black
They-
child in the Goonies.
They probably
You know what I'm saying?
tested for a black kid, and he read the script. And he's like, "This is well, my mom wouldn't let me."
He's like, I'm gonna do you a favor.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be in this movie, and you know what? No one will be upset.
It'll be fine. It'll be all right.
I
feel like-
promise you. Not a single person. The NAACP will not write you
They'll
off.
be okay.
They'll be
They'll
like,
be-
no, we get it. We get
It's
it.
like, no, but we want to make it a diverse team. No. Steven. Let me do you a favor.
Thank you for caring.
Just put the white kids in there. Get Data in there. Don't worry
It'll be
about
fine.
it. We'll be fine.
But I feel like as the black kid, we wouldn't even have been able to be like, oh, we saw the dead body and this is where we ended the adventure. We wouldn't even have been able to leave the house because look, mom and dad told me to pack up the room. I gotta pack up the room because I
gotta pack up the room.
So,
And I gotta watch my little sister, y'all. I'm sorry,
Fellas,
y'all. I gotta feed the dog. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do nothing.
I can't.
I've always thought at the end of this movie, when their parents are there, I'm like, nah. If that was me, I would have got my ass whooped right there in front of the police. Everybody, you gotta watch it. Like you've been gone. Like let's keep it a buck. They've been gone all day and night.
All day.
It was dark when they were at the well, and they were talking to what's his name. So they've been gone like a whole day. My parents would have whooped my ass, dog. Like right there on the beach. And if not, they would have hemmed me up. You don't say nothing. Wait till you get home.
Just
I got a foreclosed house. I got to sign up on, and I'm out here looking for your ass.
and embarrassing me in front of all these white people. You know, we in Oregon. All these white people, come on, take your tail home.
I would have swam for that ship.
But it's One-Eye Willie's treasure.
And
Shit, it's a
and you know
pirate ship.
Mikey would have tried to help you. No, Mr. Jones, it's okay. What? Man, Mikey, shut up, man. Shut up. Shut.
Mikey
No,
making it
no,
so
no.
much worse for you.
Uh,
But no, I can understand. It
And
was
we found a
my
dead
fault.
body, and we almost died. Mikey, shut the hell
They
up.
were like, "Oh, you almost died."
Oh,
Thanks,
oh,
Mikey.
you
Thanks,
found a dead
Mikey.
body.
You
You
found a
touched
dead
the dead
body. You
body.
touched the dead
Your
body.
fingerprints are now in a crime scene, and you're a young black kid. Okay.
Okay, okay. And then she just looking at all your friends. Oh, so the mouth was with you too. That
uh,
degenerate in the mouth.
And your parents would have told you not to hang out with Mouth. Like
Yes. Oh, bro,
uh,
you
that's
weren't
why I
allowed.
picked him specifically. I picked him specifically.
You can't hang out
Ain't
with
no
Mouth.
black mirror rocking with you
Don't let
hanging
me
out with
catch
mouth.
you. Don't let me catch you riding bikes next to Mouth. Don't. Mouth can't come over. You can't go over to his house.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Nah. And the mouse parents are
The
probably racist. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. The fact that he said
uh,
all that to the Hispanic lady, come on
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Terrible, terrible.
I'm not gonna
Anyways,
lie, that made me laugh. Like I remember him saying something to her as a kid, but like, I'm not gonna lie, that was really funny. He's like the cocaine, the top drawer, heroin, the bottom. Separate the drugs. It's like-
she needed that check
yeah.
badly.
No, she
Yes.
didn't leave.
She
She did not
didn't
leave.
leave. She stayed with them
She's
all
like, who?
day. And then
That's
the
me.
kids disappeared. Hold on. He said all that. And then they came back home and all the kids were gone. No, no, the brother was
Tied
tied
up.
up.
Tied up.
He
Yeah.
came back, the brother was tied up, and then he left, and then they didn't come back home. And she still stayed. She needed that check badly, yo.
Mhm.
Nah, I agree with everything you guys said, fellas. I got a couple little things I want to touch on, and then like we'll really get into the meat and bones. Yeah, it was good to get back to this. It recaptured that like that 80s charm and everything. Nails, I had the same reaction, like these kids are horrible. Like these are the worst kids. And like when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, the Goonies are doing it. It was like, nah, they're terrible kids. I realized, and this movie's almost 40 years old, I have never seen the first opening scene where the one
Oh.
brother acts like he hung himself. We talk
Hmm.
about 80s
Oh,
movie. We start with suicide in
yeah.
Yeah.
in a kids movie in the 80s. I've never seen that. For
Mhm.
some reason, I always start this movie in my memory during the car chase. They're being chased. I've never witnessed that scene until I like sat down and watched the movie. Do y'all remember that?
You know what I wonder? The times like just other times you've seen it, did it come on TV? Like I
You
went,
It
had
was
to.
always on TV.
You had to see it on TV. So they
Yeah.
cut that part out.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they must like I don't
No, no,
ever
no. I'm
remember seeing
telling
it.
you they did. I had it
Okay.
on VHS. So I had seen it
Like
before.
I don't know if I missed it or like that's just where I came in, but
Now
I
they
do
took that
not.
part off of when it came on TV.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why. Yeah.
So that like that got me right there. Little funny shout out. They referenced Godfather's Pizza, and it's like Trump ate all these Godfather's Pizza. And when I lived in Savannah, Georgia, there was a Godfather's Pizza. To this day, that is the best pizza ever. Shout out to Godfather's Pizza. I don't know if it still exists. The best. Just like you eat it, you're like there's an Italian family like watching a small TV cutting tomatoes in the back of this restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like it is just like whoever made this pizza was smoking a cigarette when they made it. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like really,
Like
really
there was
good.
just anger. Could you just
You know,
like
you know,
unnecessary anger?
just don't even wash their
Frustration
hands.
with the local sports team. What are you
What are
doing?
you doing? Number table five.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. That's what's up.
Mm.
The other
And
thing
shout
that
out,
caught
so real quick before you go, shout out. I always, anytime I start the Goonies, I always get it confused with another, I think it was 80s or 90s movies, because they start similar, which is Don't Throw Mama from the Train. Because the mom in the Goonies, or the crime boss mom in the Goonies, is the mom in Don't Throw Mama off the train or
I've
on the
never
train,
seen
whatever
that.
it is.
Mhm.
You don't need to.
It's not worth it.
It's an 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s movie, and it's all about just like she's a terrible mother. And the guy, the main character is constantly thinking about how he's gonna kill his mom. But it's a comedy. It's just a dark comedy. And we also own that in the house. And this further shows that my parents did not care about what I was watching as a child. All that stuff on VHS was all in my room, and they're like, "Go
Hey,
crazy."
Nils,
So
Is it keeping him quiet? Great. Watch
we've spoke
it.
about this before. Let's just speak on it again. I don't know what was in the cultural mindset of parents in the 80s, but it was like if it makes my kids shut up, they can watch it. We had no business watching what we watched in the 80s. RoboCop,
no,
Watch
just not
Terminator, not
RoboCop.
like
You could have started and ended with RoboCop.
why are you
Nothing.
letting your children watch RoboCop?
I'd buy that for $1. As a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, why am I seeing what
Why?
happens there?
I remember watching Robo. First of all, when Alex Murphy gets decimated, that's the most
Yes.
traumatizing thing,
Massacred. All right, severely massacred in
right?
broad daylight.
Right? Okay. And then when RoboCop, his first night as RoboCop, what does he do? He shoots a guy's penis off, like, like dead or alive. You come with me.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid being like, oh my, like I didn't know what to like. Do I hold myself? Do I cover my
His face stretched out on machine parts, and we were just okay with this.
and and
The random mutant at the end.
the mutant and
The mutant.
help me, oh,
They get
get the hell off
splattered.
me.
It gets splattered on a windshield
Oh
like a
my
bug.
goodness.
Oh my god, dude,
There's
no
there's
business.
there's there's plenty. RoboCop has plenty of things to show you
Well,
that our parents need to do better. You know what I'm saying? They needed to do better.
wait, since we're talking about RoboCop, a thing that caught my eye that I never noticed before, when Data first makes his entrance, he's like, "Yeah, guys, we're moving to Detroit. Ever heard of it?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, what? Like, aren't y'all like in like middle school or what do you mean ever heard of Detroit? Hey, Nell, Shannon, me and my family moving to San Francisco. Ever heard of it? Like, what are you talking about? This is a
Hey,
major city."
Yeah.
they just people ain't from there. You know what I'm saying? So
But
he may not know how familiar Detroit
okay,
is to his people. You know what I'm saying?
but I'll give you that, right? Okay, Nels, I'll give you that. But I was like, but then Mouth was like, yeah, murder capital of the nation. And I'm like,
He
huh.
also said Motown. He also said
He did
Motown.
say Motown, right? But then I was like, huh, is this movie in the same universe as RoboCop? Is Data gonna move to Detroit and his dad gonna work for OCP? Is Data's dad gonna help build RoboCop?
It,
I could
it
see
checks
that.
out.
Let's give him slick shoes, Dad. Dead or alive. RoboCop's got the little mouth thing coming out, grabbing people.
It checks out. It checks out.
That is
I,
right. Especially
so,
seeing us how Data was already making like RoboCop prototypes, like
dude, yeah,
all those
right.
gadgets and everything.
He's like, oh, I just need a dead fourth grader to reanimate, and then put all. That's what Data was
So,
hoping for. Data was
But there
hoping
has to
one of
be
them.
trauma in there. There has
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
trauma. It
gotta
can't just be
sprinkle some trauma in there. Gotta
Data
live.
was hoping one of them didn't make it out of that cave. He's like, oh, I'll bring him back better. I'll give him slick shoes. Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh. Everybody's like, yeah. Data's like, next summer. I'll try again. He keeps looking at Chunk and he's like, soon, soon, Chunk.
He's like Dennis always got like measuring people. And, hey, what are you doing? No, 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 no. Oh man.
You are a terrible person, Mark. Terrible to have your mind go there. Oh
So,
my goodness.
so look, fellas, watch this movie. No, I had a lot of your reaction, but specifically on certain characters, fellas. Just gonna flat out say this: Chunk is the worst part of this movie. Chunk is so annoying. I don't. People are fat phobic today because of Chunk. Fat phobia makes sense if you present Chunk to the world. I understand why fat phobia is a thing. He's the worst character. I couldn't wait. once Chunk leaves the movie, when he gets separated, I'm like, it's like a breath of fresh air. His opening scene, he sees a police chase. Oh, police chase! Pizza on the wall. Oh, I squeezed my. I'm like, yo, come on, dog. Like, like, not only is he fat, he's fat and stupid and just like annoying. And 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 I'm like, yo, Chunk, none of these kids are your friends. They don't even like you. They don't even like you. When he first shows up, when Chunk first comes to the house, one of them, I think it's Mikey or someone says, "Jerk alert! This your friend, dog. This your boy." And and then
Mark,
and then
can
the
we hold on?
truffle
Can we
shuffle.
no, before we get to the truffle shuffle? Well, no. We'll get to the truffle shuffle, which is terrible. But once we get to the truffle, you notice that mouth just like walked through the door
Yeah,
when like they were there, and Data. It's like known how Data gets into the
Data
house.
breaks into their house. He destroys their
He
property, and
just
they're like,
consistently.
"Oh, Data's in the house."
Yeah.
But when Chunk was coming to the house, they had to do some type of machinery.
The
It's
Rube
almost like,
Goldberg. Yeah.
yeah, it's almost like they don't want him to know how to just walk into the house regular. Because
Like,
you
oh,
ain't
that
telling me
fat
a
kid
chicken is every time they need someone in the house, a chicken's just laying an egg
laying an
so
egg.
that that door can open. No, that is just for Chunk.
They don't want Chunk around. They can't stand Chunk. But Chunk's not doing himself any favors, dog.
At
He's
all.
so he's like Monterey Jack with food. Gee, he's like, oh no, murderers. Hey guys, they got ice cream, they got fudgy
And Monterey
wiggles.
Jack could fly a plane, and he was
At
a
least he
great
was
inventor
useful.
and a great friend.
He
You
was
know what I'm saying?
useful. He
He
was
had
useful.
one weakness. That is Chunk's entire character.
I'm like, dog, like hey, as a big back youngin, I hated Chunk. I'm like, dog, I can go through the day without wanting pizza or ice cream. They get to the beach and Chunk's like, anyone got a candy bar? I'm like, dog, if you like, I don't condone bullying. Chunk needs a good, like, just fist fight. He just needs it. He just needs a good one-on-one to sort stuff out.
They sent him to a fat camp, and he got kicked out.
You get kicked out of the fat camp.
I ain't never heard that before, except for heavyweights. But I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? Like that was
No one
wild.
likes him. And he's just so annoying. He's a drain on this movie. You could take Chunk out of this movie and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It, it
I
it's
I enjoyed it when I was little, though. I ain't even gonna lie. I enjoyed it when I was little.
I I guess it's funny to kids, but I'm like, even Chunk, it's like, hey guys, can I come in the house? Hey, fatty, lift your shirt up and dance first. Oh, guys, hey, fat boy, lift your shirt up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
Then they
like,
let
they
him
don't even
in.
like you, dog.
Mhm.
And I understand why they don't like you, but they don't even like you.
Steven
It's it's
Spielberg.
it's tough because I feel like, yeah, like if this movie didn't have sloth in it, like what would sort of be the purpose of Chunk? And because I feel like at least there was that thing of like, okay, Chunk is friends with them. Chunk, has a special relationship with Sloth, so therefore Sloth helps them. But if Sloth was not there, it would just be like Chunk is just always the one that's left behind, and we pick on him. And
Yes.
would he have made it to the end of the movie?
He
Like,
couldn't even, he had
He would have
one
got
job.
shot.
They said, go get the police, Chunk. Go get the cops. And he's the one who saw the car during the police chase. He's the one who saw the car in the building as bullet holes. And the same car pulls up to you on the road, and he's like, "Oh, the Fratellis are here, and they're gonna kill us." I'm like, "Yo, you are the worst, dog."
But also, when he called the police get random calls from him all the time.
No
Come on,
bull,
bro. He's
no
the
bull.
worst person. It's maybe him and Mouth are like the worst folks to call the police. And they're just like, Chunk, it's you again. And
It's
it's like, no, I'm serious. It's real this time. It's like, come on. Dude, you're just calling the police on a regular just to say random stuff? You're a terrible person. You're a terrible person.
shout out to the Gremlins reference, but he's like, there's Gremlins out here. I'm like, yo, and Shannon, this will go into my other point, but I don't want to leave Chunk yet. But the only good thing Chunk does in this movie is release Sloth.
He don't release him. He just gave him
Well,
a baby
well,
roof.
he gives him his baby roof, and he throws it at his head. But like, I'm sorry. Even as a child, I had a problem with this. At the end of the movie, when they're all like on the beach, I'll tell you this: very 80 things about this movie. Those cops were ready to shoot Sloth immediately. They didn't want. They were like, aim, ready.
They were like, nope.
It was about to be Alex Murphy in there, dog. They're like, remember
It
when we
really
saw
was.
RoboCop?
And all it was, he was just,
Empty the clip.
he was just someone differently abled, and they were already ready to put.
They were ready.
Like, yo,
That says a lot about the 80s. Like a man with a disability. You guys ready? Ready?
Yeah. No DEI programs existed back then.
So,
Or now, I
so-
guess. Because
oh,
Sorry.
you may be. I'm gonna come back. But speaking of that, Shannon, in this universe, as they grow up, Data definitely works for Doge now. Data
Balling.
Data works for Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
and
Actually, if you carry the two, let me stop.
Let me-
Let me stop. Let me stop.
But,
Let's go get real dark real quick. Please continue.
but back to Chunk, right? They're on the beach. They found the kids, all that stuff. And then Chunk is like, Sloth, I love you. You know, we've been through it. I love you. You're going to come home with me. You're going to stay with me. I love you. And Sloth's like, oh, shoot, a home? Hey, I'm not mad at Sloth. He's been chained up all his life. Chunk, you are a child. You have no. Could you imagine your kid just bringing this 45-year-old mutant man's going to live with us now, father? As a kid,
No.
I knew he was tripping. But you know what? I was like, that's a white boy with white problems and white privilege. Because I would never. No, Shannon Nels, a person could save our life. And we wouldn't even like let our parents know about it because we would be afraid about getting in trouble. Like a man could pull us out of a river, like, thank you. I don't tell my mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna head on home.
Don't. This stays between us. But thank you so much. God
Thank you for
bless
saving
you.
my life.
But don't tell a soul.
The man was like, son, you need to go to the hospital. No, I am fine.
Yep.
Just don't tell my mom. I almost died in the river.
But you know what's so tough? Sloth absolutely lived with him because also as the dad, if he tells you that, oh, he's gonna live with us, you remember how strong Sloth was. As a dad, do you think you're gonna beat Sloth? Like, you got two choices.
And that's
Sloth,
the thing. That's
or
the
get
thing.
embarrassed in front of your family.
It's like, dog, you just put me in a horrible situation. It's like, what am I gonna say? You just told me that like the thing is gonna live with us. I can't say no.
Yeah,
I want to live.
Hey, how y'all getting out of this situation? I have some thoughts. So I'm like, if my son, actually no, so I have to be white in this situation. So first and foremost, but I'd be like, well, son, we should take you all to the hospital first. Let's just get y'all checked out. And as soon as they get a room for Sloth,
We're
booking,
leaving. We're leaving.
booking. And I'm telling the police, I was like, I want a what is it called? Restraining order on that thing and my child. I don't want him nowhere near my
And
child.
you know it's the 80s.
Why does my child want to bring this monster home?
They would have put Sloth in a straitjacket and
Chunk! Get him away from my child. You know that like that's 80s year old or 80s Niels. That's the energy that I would have had in that situation. Like, no, get away from my child.
I'm just like, yo, like who knows what kind of medical issues. So let's say, okay, yeah, but like, who knows? Like, does Sloth need a doctor? Does he need a special instructor? Like, what does he take medicine? What do I have to teach him things? He's been locked up and chained up his whole life. you just put all this, but Dad, he likes Baby Ruth like me. Like,
Well, they are raising Chunk.
you know what?
Probably not that.
Probably a
They're
very
probably not doing
accepting
much in the
family.
first place.
Very
You know what I'm
accepting
saying?
family. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're yeah. So and then since we're on the beach, I'll just bring this up. As a father now, this really upset me. When they're on the beach and they're all like, "Hey, oh, Dad," and it's sweet or whatever. They've been looking for their children, right? It's been a search. The police are there, everyone's there, the whole like not the whole town, but half the town, they're looking for these kids. Fellas, why are the foreclosure like lawyers there on the beach? Why did it? And they're like, well, Mister whatever, yeah, I'm glad you found your son. Now sign that. I'm like, dog, are you? It would have been a problem, bruh. It would have been a problem. Are you kidding me? My kid has been gone for 24 hours, and you want me to like, bruh? It wouldn't have been pretty. And the dad's like,
Mhm.
well, okay, I'll sign the document. I'm like,
Now we
I
couldn't
would have
even
went to
take our
jail.
child home.
I would
You
have
know
went to
what I'm
jail.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was it like 6 o'clock in the morning? Like it was early.
Bruh,
Yeah.
like I just found my child. I would be like, you're not foreclosing. You're not foreclosing. And I'll tell you when you can foreclose because I'm taking my kid home. I'm taking him to the hospital, and then we're gonna figure out what happened to him. And they're like, well, sign it right now. It's 6 o'clock in the morning on a cold beach in Oregon.
You just found your kid that's been
Could you
gone.
imagine that? Could you
I
imagine? It's
I
like
think there's
Elizabeth
two.
Smart's parents. They found her, and then the person's like, "Now sign this, Mr. Smart." Hey, hey! I know you just found your daughter. Now sign right here.
Oh, I think there's two explanations for how this can go down. One is the Goonies do this all the time. Like these kids are just into stuff. All right, you know what I'm saying? So this could just be like, well, I'm glad they're okay this time. Oh, like I'm assuming that either this happens all the time and he's like, all right, well, you found them. Sooner than I thought.
Yeah,
Here, sign
yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? It's like business as usual.
Wow, one day, not bad, not bad this time.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And no child. All of them came back. No one died. Oh, that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? So is
Data.
that rats really liked him, you know what I'm saying? He lasted a good while. Um the other is ain't nothing like an 80s villain.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing
yeah.
like an 80s villain. And he was like, this is my time. I get to be the big bad. I can't. He probably didn't go to sleep the night before. He was so looking forward to being the big bad in the neighborhood. And they just
He
ruined his
laid
moment.
out
Yeah.
laid out his foreclosure outfit like the first day of school. Ready.
Ready, Johnson? Hey, but that was the best thing about 80s villains. Like they were so low stakes. It's like, we're gonna foreclose your house. We're gonna tear down the youth center. We're gonna you can't keep that dog. He's going to the pound. Like that was like their
Yes.
limit. And we hated them with all our guts.
But because they were 10 toes about it. And they knew it was ruining a friend group, household, this poor child. And they were like, I don't care. I am adamantly doing this one minor thing that doesn't have to happen. But I'm 10 toes because I know it's gonna break your heart. That's an 80s villain. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, you got a teacher of a different race who's teaching you about life? Not on my watch.
like finally get to be the villain that I want to be.
You
Can't
kids,
wait.
you kids found a chimpanzee that's teaching you how to read? Mm-mm-mm.
And it's so tough because like there was no like anti-hero, anti-villain, like reflective, like all of this stuff. It was just like
The bad
I
guy.
this is my one goal. It's gonna hurt a lot of people and I need to do it. Like there was no I'm doing this for the better of mankind. It's like this will hurt people. Must be done today.
Yep. 80s.
Oh man, it was great. So that, right? Okay, whatever. And then watching this movie, fellas, it made me think about, perspectives and, we talk about DEI and, white privilege is discussed a lot. I don't think I've seen more of a direct showcase of white privilege than this movie. And the center stage actor of this is Mikey. What does Mikey do this whole movie? Why is Mikey the main character? Mouth is the one who could read the map and speak Spanish. Data has the gadgets that gets them in and out of jams. Bran is the oldest, strongest. Hell, Andy plays the piano that gets them out of the whatever. Even Chunk brings Sloth at the end to save the day. What does Mikey do this whole movie? The map is his dad's map who works in a museum, who found the map, who taught him about One Eye Willie. What does Mikey do this movie? Why is he the center focus?
Legacy. Basically, legacy admissions. Like that's what Mikey
Legacy ambitions.
because his dad had the stuff. He now gets to be the leader, and
Because it was his house and his dad did the work. Mikey's the hero. What is he? Goonies never die. Goonies never die. Everyone else, I'll give Mikey this. He was annoying enough to like get them in the situations, but everyone else got them out of the problems they were in.
Every single other one of them.
Is reading the map. He's the only one that could read the map. And he's like, yeah, One-Eyed Willie. Like,
And hold on, now that I think about it, he didn't want to go on the adventure. His friends were pushing him to go on the adventure. They're like, "Oh, well, Mouth can read this, and you have this thing, and come on, let's look at it." And that's what and then when they were in it, he was like, "No, we're doing this."
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Why is I'm low key trying to figure that out. Legacy.
Why
Shannon, I
is
think you're
why
on it.
is
I think you
Mikey
figured it out. A
there's
$10,000 donation to
there's nothing
to a
interesting about
university.
Mikey. He has asthma and it's his dad's map.
And he don't really have asthma, if we want to be honest. He had asthma for the first 15 minutes. I don't know what that was. That was an addiction.
Goonies
He ain't
never
have
die,
asthma.
guys. Goonies never die. Like I'm just like, yo, Mikey does nothing. Everyone else is a team player and a contributor. And then Mikey's got the nerve. Granted, it was a trap, but Mikey's got the nerve to be like, you know what? No, it wasn't even. It was a trap, but they could have got that boat and got out of there. When he's like, no, 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 this is Willie's. Don't touch this. This belongs to Willie. But they showed that when you touch that treasure, it made the boat go out to sea. So they could have coasted out of there and got out of there in time. But no, 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 no. You leave. This is for the dead pirate, my friend, One-Eyed Willie. Like
Damn. The Forellis wouldn't even have got to him because
they wouldn't
the
even
ship
got to
would
the
have been
boat,
going.
And I was just like blown. I was like, wait a minute, why is Mikey the main character? It's because it's the '80s, and he was a white kid.
It's just mediocre in every way,
Data
shape, or
does
form.
more in this movie than Mikey.
Yo, did you see that moment where Data just like lost it?
Yes,
Like
yes.
Data snapped.
He started talking in third person. He's like, Data's just trying to go home. Data is just trying to make it out alive.
Hey, y'all be clowning me about my inventions. My inventions saved my life a few times, saved your life here and there. Like, you got these people after me, bro. What's going on?
Data was running through. He's like, you got Data climbing rocks. You got Data in ships. Data.
You got Data messed up. Nah, it ain't going down like that.
Yo, Data had to have a moment, dog. And look at Mikey. Oh, guys, there's treasure up here. There's treasure, the rich stuff, guys. Like,
Data showed he was a person of color at that moment. He was like, yo, I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it. What is wrong with y'all? I want to go home. Oh my goodness.
And so another thing I want to bring up, One-Eyed Willie must have been from the future, or he was the greatest engineer of all time. He was Leonardo da Vinci. This elaborate cave system that one of the entrance to a cave looks like a skull. Why did you do that? That's not natural. You did that, Willie. How long did it take to carve the stone to look like I'm gonna make this elaborate skeleton organ system that's gonna
And it lasted how many years? What,
Dog,
300
thank
years?
you, Nels. Three, and that was the one thing when they get to the ship, I'm like, no, no. Like, have y'all ever been in like abandoned places, abandoned buildings, or
No, I have not.
they?
I know that's what I was saying. Luckily not.
By choice.
I guess in
No.
my early days as a photographer, videographer, I would look for urban decay to like whatever. These places dwindle like within 10 years, fellas. Like maybe 20. This is a 300-year-old ship in the water. It wouldn't be there. And they're just like walking on it, jumping around. I'm like, it would be at the bottom of that lagoon or whatever it was. And they're just like all this stuff. I'm like, yo, One Eye Willie just he must be Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo must be a time traveling pirate who made his way to Maine or Oregon, wherever they live, and he died as a pirate.
How did the greatest pirate, because this guy has to be the greatest
He's the
pirate ever.
greatest.
How
Mhm.
did the greatest pirate go from the Caribbean all the way to a random bay in Oregon?
What do you the what's that? The Cape is it Cape?
Mark, One Eye Willie was Japanese. That's it. That explains it all.
Your answer
That
for
explains
everything.
everything.
He was Data's ancestor.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. I don't know where data people from. He speak Cantonese. He might be from China. But that's not the point. One Eye Willie was Japanese.
I
And
mean,
and doesn't that answer all your questions?
and
At least 95 of your questions got answered right
95%.
there.
And dog, and then when they get to One Eye Willie's ship, and then like it's like him and this council of pirates, and I'm like, wait a minute, like they're all dead at this table. Did they all just decide like y'all are able-bodied pirates? Like, did y'all just like we're gonna stay here until we're dead?
Yeah. It's like, yo, how you want to look when you die?
Oh,
I want,
I'm
if
gonna go
someone
like
come in
this.
here, what I'm saying? I want to
I'm
sit
gonna go
like
like
this so they
this.
look in my eye. What I'm saying? I'm gonna hold a knife
Well, you know
here.
me, I like scaring people, so I want my skeleton, but I'm- so I'm gonna lean against this. So when they open it,
So they just standing there, 80, 85. All right now.
this is gonna be so
Any
cool.
day.
200 years from now, this is gonna be the coolest thing
It's gonna
anyone
be
ever saw.
real cool.
Ah.
You know, somebody was like laid back, like, "Oh man, the fit gonna kill him. The fit
Got
gonna kill him.
yeah,
Get my hand
gotta
right,"
keep
and
this.
then
Gotta
lay back
keep
like
this
this for the
tight.
next 50 years.
That's wild. Yeah, man.
And oh man, I was just like, yo, Willie's the greatest engineer to ever live. And then Nels, I don't know if you know this shout out. It was nice when they get to the treasure, Mikey, he's like, we made it here in one piece. I was like,
I caught it. I
Oda,
caught it. He
Oda
probably
foreshadow.
did.
He
He
probably
probably he
foreshadowed.
probably did. You know what I'm saying? Just the ridiculousness. Yeah. Look, hey, Shannon, you should be impressed that we went however long we went. And this is the first time we mentioned One Piece.
In a pirate movie.
Pirate boat. You know what I'm saying? We just mentioned One Piece. Shout out to us.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that we took that long.
And
Ah,
so, but like I said, like Mikey, man, don't know why he's the main character. Even Chunk brings Sloth at the end. But fellas, do y'all remember? And I swore this was a like fever dream or Mandela effect. I swear there is a scene in this movie where the kids like fight a giant octopus. Have you
I know I did not.
yes.
I like, but it wasn't on the version I watched. But
It
I
was like
tell you, I
a
watch TV, and when they all jump off the ship, they're attacked by a giant octopus.
I remember that too. I remember that too.
Okay, so it's not a fever dream. That happened, right?
Don't they say and we fought an
And that's because
octopus?
Data at the end is like in the octopus. But I was like, but you don't have that scene in the movie. Like,
Oh.
so did any of y'all own this movie back in the
It was a
day?
deleted scene. I owned it. That's what it
Okay.
was. It was a deleted
Was
scene.
it in the actual movie? Because I saw it on TV.
They must have included it in the TV version because that definitely I saw it. I definitely saw it in Goonies because Mouth was getting that girl, the other girl, Andy's friend.
Yeah.
She was stuck on the octopus and Mouth was got her out of it.
And they
So
put
yeah,
like a radio in its mouth or something, right?
I don't even remember what they did. Yeah, but there's a yeah, it exists because I
Okay.
remember I remember being freaked out by octopus for a lot when in my childhood. I was just like, octopus are monsters. Like they are legit monsters. It took a while for me to get out of it. And I
Do-
think it was because of the Goonies. Yeah,
not to go off topic.
that's a real scene.
Do y'all
I'm
remember
gonna find it.
Beast? I think it was a movie called Beast. It came on like USA or Sci-Fi, and it was Jaws, but it was with a giant like squid.
Hmm.
It was like one of those USA the network for like anyone who doesn't remember or Sci-Fi channel. I think it was called The Beast, and it was basically Jaws. A small town was attacked by a giant squid. Terrified me, made me so scared of like.
Oh, you there?
Yeah, my bad. I thought you were looking it up.
I am looking it up, and that doesn't really give you much. The
Okay, all right.
Beast, it's just there's a they don't
It's nothing.
really.
It
Yeah,
wasn't that great.
there's a lot of movies called The Beast, Mark.
Yeah, okay, okay. It may not be
So,
that, but nah, man. Just like, just the things looking back on this movie that like I'm just like, this is wild. This is crazy. In I will say this. I think if the movie came out now, I think Sloth dies in that cave.
yeah, you can't have Sloth leave.
I think he dies in that cave in, which I forgot that he survived it, and I was like, oh man, he died. Like, dang, and he's like, I love you. He's like love chunk. I was like, oh man,
It solves a lot of problems
the
too.
only
I
good,
just
the
just
only
wanna.
good.
It
That's
solves a lot
a
of
lot of
problems.
problems. It's sad. It makes everyone's life a lot. Look, he
Yeah,
he was
You
not
don't
going to
know
have a good
what they were
life.
doing with Sloth. That was a crime family.
yeah.
What do you think Sloth was doing? You think he was just chained up all the time? They utilized Sloth, man.
Oh, Nels, are you telling me that those people in the freezer that was Sloth did that?
It was allegedly
They were like
for
sloth
legal purposes.
playtime, and they would throw people into sloth. Ooh,
Mhm.
pop.
What else was he doing? What they had a mutant, super strong man thing in their basement. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And they're murderers. They are
in
criminals.
in a different if in a different version of this movie, Chunk's like, I'm gonna take you home, sloth, and then like Professor X and Storm arrive on the beach. He's like, "Hello, sloth." He's like, "Ooh." He's like, "Would you like to come to my school?"
For gifted people such as yourself.
You're gifted, Sloth. I can help you.
I
Utilize
can
your
help you,
powers.
sloth. Sloth, go with Professor now.
Oh man, that would have been such a happy ending.
Sloth,
Such a
and then
happy ending.
Sloth fighting Magneto. He takes it too far.
My new family.
Sloth, stop, Sloth.
And he like, Professor Sloth do good?
Oh, Sloth, what have you done? What have you done, Sloth?
Sloth protect family. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
It
Oh,
is.
and no, you know what would have happened? Magneto would have got Sloth and brought him to the Brotherhood. And like Sloth, do you see that man? That bad man, bad man hurt mutants. Sloth, bad man hurt mutants. Hey, you guys!
Oh, the
At
Sloth
the
would not
at
have
the United
survived.
Nations today, a giant mutant just beat the hell.
Let me tell you, the United States has answers for Sloth. All right. They would have they would have invested a lot of time and money to end that. I can guarantee it.
And
Oh
then
my goodness.
and then it's like the other X-Men, they like don't feel great about fighting Sloth because they're like, oh, Sloth. It's like they don't. Do we have to fight?
Because they don't really they have questions, you know what I'm
They
saying?
know
Yeah.
Like
something's up.
they're
They
like,
know they know
is he
something's up.
okay?
Is
You
he all
know,
right? Is it okay to fight
is
the
it
professor?
part of his powers? Is it mutation? Is some stuff right here? Like
Wolverine, Wolverine, take him out. Oh, it's like, oh no.
And it's bad, but like even Wolverine is like questioning because his thing is like, I am what is it, very good at doing things that are very
yeah.
bad or something like that. But even then he's like, like, dude, come on, man.
I don't know. I don't feel good about this, Professor.
Here, I'll just hit him. I won't take my blades out. I just hit him without the
Yes.
blade, without the
Stay
claw.
down, calm down, big boy.
Storm. Wind. So I was like, ooh, water.
No, no, no boy, no. Anything else? Anything else about? Oh, anything else about the Goonies? Yeah.
I will say what's wild is the scenarios that we've come up with though. It does feel like this movie could have been like, here's the ending. Here's an alternate ending. Here's a second alternate ending. Like because like you're saying, it ended the way it ended. I could also wholeheartedly see, as you mentioned, Mark, like with Sloth just dying in the cave, because it would have been some message of like, see the power of love, and
Hmm.
even meeting someone in one day can, like,
Yeah.
save your life and change their life. Like there would have been some message there, him
Like I
dying
said,
in the
would have
cave.
cleaned up a lot of things real quick.
And would have and
Woo.
just all, all these other things.
Yo, I'm sorry. Chunk's like, oh man, I'm sad he died, but I told him he was gonna live with me.
He's like,
This is the best. This is best for everybody. You guys weren't in the. I was down there. You don't know how much he ate. He ate so much food, guys. Like,
He never stopped.
and I don't think his vision was that great. I think this is the best for everybody.
but yo,
Stop it.
yeah,
Go
there could
ahead,
have been.
Shannon. Go ahead, Shannon.
I was just saying, I feel like there could have been so
Oh my
many like
God.
alternate endings, and then even like you said, the whole scene with the octopus. Did not know about that. I know, I mean, it's a deleted scene. We just mentioned it, but it just feels like there's another version of this movie out there somewhere, and
Mhm.
like it basically is, because some people have seen the scene at the very beginning where he pretends to commit suicide and also then assaults a police
Wild,
officer.
wild way to start your kids' movie.
Yeah. Like some people have seen that, some people have seen the octopus scene. It's like this is one movie, but it's like three different versions out there or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. It
Yeah.
was the '80s, man.
Yeah.
It was the '80s.
I
Like,
mean, the dramatic version of this is Stand By Me. Want to keep it a buck.
yeah, yeah.
The
Mhm.
It's
super
Stand By
sci-fi
Me.
version of this is Stranger Things.
It's
Mm.
Stand By Me, but instead of pirate gold, is a dead body at the end of the movie.
That's
Like
pretty
that.
much it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And no leeches. That's pretty much it.
no. Oh
So,
yeah, those kids had ticks on them, leeches. Like, someone had hypothermia. Like
because
they
that's what
didn't just
happens
go
when
home.
you outside.
Yes.
Meanwhile, these kids, and one of them has asthma, just hunky dory, no bruises, no nothing, just a little dirt
Oh,
right here. Come on now.
I do want to say, no, would you say the budget was 19 million?
19 million.
Yeah, that must have went into the ship because the jewels at the end of this movie look so fake. I'm like, dog, you couldn't like they look like they came out of a cereal box. I'm like, you couldn't have
That
just
that was the Family Dollar. There was a
that was
little
a Dollar
bag
Tree.
right there in the corner. That was the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying?
That was like, okay, last scene, we need the jewels. Someone's like, oh shoot, we didn't get the jewels. Oh damn. And they ran to like the Dollar Tree and just got some like fake little like
Yeah,
rose.
because any Oregon jewelry weren't gonna let them borrow that. They're like,
No.
nah. What?
Yeah.
What'd you say this movie is? Goonies. They see Slop. They're like, nah, man, nah. We don't do these kind of movies.
Nah, nah.
We're gonna keep our jewels right here. You go ahead and go down to
They
Family
sent
Dollar.
the kid who
Mhm.
played Data. They're like, I don't know, this kid's kind of nice, but it's the '80s. We're racist, so no, no.
Nah, nah. It would have got dark. It would have got dark.
Oh, last thing, fellas, I did not know until this recent watch where Goonies came from. I never like
You
the
didn't know it
neighborhood
was the
is.
game of the town?
Yeah, I just never like. I don't know. I never picked that up. Was it the Goon Docs?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was from the
Oh.
Goon Docs, and then I love
Did
the
you not
cute.
know that either, Shannon?
No. You said
Yeah,
the
I had
Goondocks
no
is the name
idea.
of the town, you
Yeah,
said?
their
Yeah.
neighborhood. I don't know if
Oh,
it's the name of the town because the two girls, what is it,
Yeah, it's like
Andy?
Astoria or something like that.
Yeah, Andy and Steph, they're like, we're not Goonies. So I think like the in this town that now all this property is worth probably millions of dollars. It's beachfront, whatever. But like
In
in the
Oregon.
80s, it was like you live on the waterfront, you're the Goonies, you know?
hmm
Like,
And low
Wow.
key, the villain in this movie, he was thinking about it the right way. Like
yeah.
he probably made what's his son's name? Troy. He probably made Troy's probably a billionaire right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
hmm
he's like, oh, in 10 he's like, Troy, I'm gonna buy the Goondocks. Troy's like, what, Dad? He's like, in 10 years, don't worry about it. Like your children are gonna be set, the grandchildren are gonna be set. Like he had the right idea. But yeah, shit, it's the Goondocks, and so they call themselves the Goonies, and then like Andy and Steph, they're like, but I'm not a Goonie. And then Troy's like, he's like, Andy, you Goonie. I guess that's their hard R for like that part of town. They're that's their hard R is the be a Goonie.
And they're
Hey,
reclaiming it. They're
yeah,
reclaiming it. Yo,
we don't call
I am
you
a
a
Goonie.
Goonie. We call each other Goonies. You don't call me a Goonie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like they're the Goonies, but then like the rich people call them like Gooners.
Yeah, you get that hard ER out your
Yeah,
mouth,
hard.
right? Get that out your mouth. I'm a Goonie, all right?
That's
No, they hear someone call them a Goonie or a Gooner. They're like, hold on, say it again. What'd you? All right, that sounded a
Hey,
little too
chill,
hard at
chill.
the end.
Look, I'm just singing the song. It's part of the lyrics. I'm just singing. My Goonies, my Goonies. Wherever I go, dig.
Now you can't say that. Why can't I say? Because you ain't from there, bruh.
If they don't
It's
want me to say it,
simple.
if they don't want me to say it, why are they saying it themselves? Why are they call? Why can't I say it? What about freedom of speech?
So I gotta be from the Goonies to say Goonies. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
In the Goondocks, they're eating the dogs. They're I'm a lot of people don't want me to say it. I'm gonna say it. The Goonies, the Gooners, they're eating the dogs. I'm just
Mm, mm. I got
Oh,
too real.
yes.
Got too real. All right, y'all. Anything else
Yo.
before we wrap up?
It's a fun go back, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
guys gonna show your kids the Goonies?
No,
Nah.
no.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
and and this might be a hard question to answer, but in our Nickelodeon episode, we talked about like Doug and Rugrats and all that. And Nels, I specifically remember we were saying like there's nothing that like Doug and Rugrats I could show my kids that like Craig of the Creek can't do better or Hey Arnold can't do better. So like what is there for the Goonies that like we that does it better now
You
that
just named it. Craig of the
Craig of
Creek
the Creek?
and Hey Arnold. But Craig of the Creek in particular,
hmm
that is a better version of the Goonies. And it's what, at 12-minute episodes? And it does what the Goonies does.
Yeah.
A wide cast of characters, some like stuff that is like amazing and ridiculous, but it all happens in the confines of a backyard creek in a neighborhood. That's the Goonies, but better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
I would. That's all. I've
I
already done it. It's Craig of the Creek. That's what I would show my kids.
I don't if we happen to come across the Goonies and they want to see it, yeah, we'll watch it. But you brought up, I do think I'll show my kids Stand By Me.
Yeah.
I do think I'll show them that. But the Goonies and so we're talking about fat kids, Stand By Me takes place in the 50s, but it made the 80s. Like that's how you do a fat kid. He contributes. He's their friend. They actually like yeah they rib him a little bit, but they like him. But like Chunk is just the worst, man. Like
Chunk is like a terrible version of that character.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like someone really didn't like Stand By Me or
He's
really
the
didn't like that character.
he's the
It's like,
Goonies version of the fat kid. That's what fat kid Goonies are. They're like Chunk. Fat kids from other part of the town, they act like the kid from Stand By Me. You fat
Yeah.
Goonie. Like, you know the hate.
like,
So
ugh,
I'm
Ugh.
like,
Goonies. Oh my goodness.
I think
I'm
I think
sorry.
mine. Yeah,
When
yeah. No, no, no.
when
I was gonna say
Andy's dating Brand and he comes to pick her up, he's like, "You get that Goonie boy out of my house."
I.
Daddy, I love him. No daughter of
Hey,
mine, no daughter of mine is gonna date a Goonie.
Your grandmother would be rolling over in her grave.
And your
Oh,
grandmother could see you now.
it smells like Goonies in here now.
Oh
what am I
my
gonna have?
God.
Little Goonie grandbabies?
And then they have a kid. It's like, Dad, you need to accept that your grandson is half Goonie. It's like they're both white, and he's like, not in my house. He's just this white grandbaby, but he won't.
The mom's trying to be polite. I love the type of music you play in the Goonies. I just I dated a Goonie
I
once.
dated a Goonie. I love their hair.
I,
I love.
I
They're
just love how
good
they
dancers.
dress, how they talk.
Yeah,
I
they're
just
actually good dancers. You know? Oh, what's that one famous Goonie? Data? He's like,
oh my oh man. Anyways, y'all.
racism, the 80s.
Thank you, fellas. And thank you, Pop Cult. Thank you for listening. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Crew, POPCULTCREW. Become a member of the Pop Cult at our Patreon, where you can find our full video episodes. And don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.
Hey, you guys.
We out.